All right, let's look at the fight announcement from this weekend. We had Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev announced for March 8th, UFC 313.
Okay. In Las Vegas?
Yep.
In Las Vegas, March
Is
8th.
it T-Mobile?
Yep.
Okay. What's the rest of the card? Do we know?
Well,
No.
we know one more fight. We know that Gaethje is going to fight Dan Hooker in that card as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Which is a
That's
great fight.
slobber
It's a
knocker, right?
5-rounder as well.
That's a slobber knocker.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one. Okay, so Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. John, give me your take on this, because look, Ankalaev has been talking mad trash, which is crazy to me that he's been on social media, basically saying like, "Hey, you're not, I'm gonna stand with you. I'm gonna knock you out. I don't need to wrestle. You've been pretty much ducking me. Like, it basically said, hey, do as you're told, sign the contract."
Ooh, I know. I
because
saw that one.
Alex had said something a while back, like, look, I just fight whoever they put in front of me and just do as I'm told. And so he's like, hey, so do as you're told, and sign the contract. So he signed. I mean, like, the fight's on. Let's go.
Is the fight on? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Finally. And I'm being honest, it's not one of those fights that I go, man, I've been waiting for that fight. And
Whose fault is that?
It's Ankalaev's fault.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I say that, I say it with, I have such high expectations for that guy because I know how good he really is and can be. And then he doesn't do the things that I know he's capable of in the fight to make it to where, dude, you can dominate this person. But no, you're playing his game. And I honestly think he is going to play the game with, Pereira, as far as he will try to just stand up with him for a lot of it. Now, I do think he will try to take him down, but it all comes down to this. Every month that goes by, Josh, I know you give me the same line of, you can't teach a grown man to wrestle. Yeah, you really can, especially defensively. Okay, now they're not going to, how good of a wrestler was Umar when you first, met him?
Oh, you're talking about 19 versus.
I know that. I'm not saying that. It's different between a grown man,
buddy. Not apples to oranges.
No, that's apples to oranges. But the point is, look at his wrestling and look at what he can do as a wrestling. I'm not saying that Alex is close to that, but Alex has had enough time now, and he's been working on his wrestling, especially the defensive part. He's not going to be easy to take down. He is a big, strong man. He's a large human being. He's good at, he keeps his hands down anyways. He's kind of like the year, he's got his hands down low all the time, which makes it more difficult to get the takedown just off the bat. Fedor used to do it the same way, because if his hands are low, it's easy for him to scoop you up, stop the takedown attempt. And Ankalaev, in the end, he's going to have to work harder for those takedowns. And I don't think in the end he's going to work that hard for him. He'll separate and think that he can do it on his feet, and that's going to be his undoing.
I go back and look at the Jan Blachowicz fight with Ankalaev. Mm-hmm. He didn't look great against an older guy. Like, Jan was 39 at the time, or maybe even 40 at the time.
Yeah, close.
I'm sorry. Like, sure, you can touch Alex. He is kind of hittable.
Oh, yeah, he's very hittable.
Slightly right outside of range. He's hittable, but not to the full impact. And that's what the difference is. Boxing and kickboxing, but mainly boxing, is considered what? The art of like inches, right? Like
the art of hitting without getting hit.
Exactly. But you can still get hit, but just grazed. It just barely slightly touches you, gets you slightly out of
anything
the ring.
That doesn't hit you with power.
Yeah.
You're good.
He's that guy. He slightly moves his body back. He's so big too. I mean, they're going to be about equal size. I think Alex can be slightly thicker, maybe even a little bit taller.
Alex will be taller.
Yeah, a little bit taller. And so I look at this, I'm like, Ankalaev cannot afford to spend too. I think he'll stand, but he's either got to be all the way in, closing that distance, make it a clinch fight, or he's got to be all the way out. Try. But if you're all the way out, we saw what happened with the Jan Blachowicz fight, where he got kicked to the shins and all of a sudden he couldn't walk. And he was winning that fight, I believe, until the end of the second round. Then he couldn't walk anymore. Do you think that Jan's kicks are going to be as good as Alex's? There you go. So, I mean, that was an inside calf. They actually hit to the inside calf as well as the shin. He couldn't put weight on it. He was struggling. I mean, a couple kicks, and we're going to see what happens in this fight. We're going to see if Ankalaev can take those shots, those leg kicks, because every fighter thinks they have a plan when they go in there. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. 3 kicks later, the game plan's different.
Yeah, and if this is where, okay, I mean, how do you put? I want you to think about this with, Alex Pereira. He comes into the UFC. Yeah, I think his first fight was against Mitchell Ladius. I think if I'm saying it right. But and then he fought Bruno Silva, that's a stand-up fight. But from there, Sean Strickland, former champion, now fighting again for the championship, fought Israel Adesanya twice, lost one of them, lost the second one, when he won the title. Then he had, Jan Blachowicz, Yuri, Jamal, Yuri again, and then Khalil. He's fought some really tough individuals in that time. It's not like he's fought trash. He's fought some great fights. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Ankalaev. He's fought good competition, but truthfully, not as good a competition as Pereira has. I know he fought, Thiago Santos somewhere along the way. I can't remember how long ago it was, but somewhere. I know he fought Anthony Smith. He fought, as you said, Jan, for the championship, and it became a draw. Fought Johnny Walker twice because I think one was an eye poke or something like that, or
Illegal knee.
Yeah, illegal knee. That's right. And he looked good against Rakic. I'll give him that. He won a decision, but he looked good against him. But still, he just hasn't been that guy you've gone, wow.
Yeah.
And I think you have at times looked at Alex and gone, wow. I just think that the way that Ankalaev is going to end up fighting this, and just like you said, that low calf kick is going to be a problem for him because he's got a wide base. He gets that leg out there, and that means he's going to have to switch stances, which is going to give him problems. And it's not an easy fight for either guy, but it's not this, Ankalaev is just going to walk through Alex Pereira. Not happening.
Yeah. I don't think so either. I think he's gonna have I think he's gonna have a little bit tougher time to get him down if he decides to take him down. He may get him down off of a lazy kick.
Yep.
But I think also too the wrestling will be a lot harder as Alex starts to make contact on those calf kicks. Yeah. And they're gonna come and they come so effortlessly. So there's no setup. It's just like
that's the whole thing.
We just touch it.
There's no tell on him either. They just because he doesn't try to stick his leg and put it through yours. He just wants to touch it, and the way he does it, it's heavy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at some of the fights that are on here. It doesn't look like they have anything else outside of the Dan Hooker. They've got Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. They've got Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van, Petrino versus Deniz, Bruno Ferreira versus
Silva against Van is a good fight.
Yeah, that should be good.
That's a good fight.
And then
is that at 125 or 135?
125.
Okay.
I was also looking at the Petrosian versus Ferreira. That should be good. Bruno Ferreira. Yeah. That should be a good fight as well. Chris Gutierrez versus Matsumoto. Should be decent fight right there. Alex Morano versus Lee Morando. Those are just the fights they have listed right now. That's only, I don't know how many that is. That's 10 fights. So they'll probably come up with another 2 or 3. Yeah. I think that's only a 10 fight card right now. Overall, though, I think I'm looking forward to that fight. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.